Hi everybody, this is Patricia Cori, just out of the shower, feeling like I can't wait for my hair to dry to speak about what I want to speak today in this moment, which is how very tired I am of the Trump hatred, the continual cynicism, hatred, guffawing, humiliation of this man. Yesterday I posted something quite remarkable about it wasn't me that was being remarkable. The remarkable essence was that they've brokered what looks like could be a peace deal between Israel and United Arab Emirates, where, like most of the Middle East, Israel doesn't even appear on their map. Trump was behind this brokering, and he jokingly said, I wanted to call it the Donald Trump agreement, but I knew the media would never let me get away with it. And there started the cynicism and the comments about what an egomaniac he is, because nobody has any sense of humor anymore. So they couldn't read and extract the humor from that silly, innocent, humorous comment. But, we're not a world that understands humor anymore. So, immediately we had the negative lashing out against him for even making a joke about that. Folks, this infantile, instrumentalized hatred of this man is getting extremely old. And to all these people, supposedly spiritual people, who hold this hatred, and to all the others too, it is about time you got your shit together and looked at what this man has accomplished and what he's doing. And it's not only him, of course, but he's at the helm, and thank God for that. Yesterday, Donald Trump said, it looks like we don't have to even be in the Middle East anymore now. He said, we've got, our own oil. That's what we were there for. He actually verbalized these things. And all these people that claim to want peace, people that say that they go to church and talk about peace, but let's not give any celebration of Trump's achievement here. And by the way, he's intimating that there are more countries on the way and that they're now looking at Palestine and how to make a peace agreement with that. But, no. There's never enough to placate the hating doubters. And you know what? I'm really tired of it. We need constructive, positive support here. This is the President of the United States, and if you take the time to look at his actions and get away from the fact that yes, he can be crude, and yes, that he has a funny hair, and yes, all of these ridiculous things. Attacking him because he's overweight, attacking this, attacking that. It's like, I'd love to see the people that are so perfect that they can look down at the man who is the President of the United States. I was interviewing Sasha Stone, and he said, I don't care what he was doing with his pee-pee 20 years ago, and either do I. And you know what? While I'm on this rant, I'd love to meet the people that 20 years ago, or if you are that old enough to remember that far back, you weren't doing crazy things sexually or drinking crazily at the beer bust in college or whatever, not to mention drugs and all the other addictions, right? While you're striving for these perfect idols. By the way, I haven't seen any perfected human being yet. If you see one, let me know. Because, we all seem to want an archangel sitting in the White House desk instead of somebody with enough balls to make a difference, to say no to Big Pharma, to say no to the CDC, to say no to the WHO. And you want to talk about life enhancement? That is, a very dangerous thing. To stand against this tide, you have to have gigantic kashukas, okay? When are you going to take the time to recognize that and stop listening to the Seth Meyers and the comedians that are on the payroll of the George Soroses and the Bill Gates of the world, and spewing out whatever the company line is, because that's their job. That's how they make their millions of dollars. And, I don't mean to be nasty, but, how many of them are also drinking the blood, if you get my drift? These are your icons. These are your heroes. This is where you're getting your attitude, your information, your insights from. The completely, totally controlled and biased media. Nasty people, man. I mean, if I look at any of these media stations for more than a minute, I want to throw up. This is where you're getting your source. This is what's carving out your understanding of politics and the world situation. So yesterday, something historic really happened. Yesterday, we got the announcement. Oh my God, the epicentral country, one of them at least, Arab country, said okay to peace. Is it perfect? Of course not. Will there be concessions? Probably. As Jared Kushner said, we had to look at creative ways that haven't been used yet because they're not working. Hundreds and hundreds of years of hatred. Somebody had to come up with a better idea, right? To the people that are all anti the whole situation. Let's not forget, yes, Trump agreed to move the capital of Israel to Jerusalem. Maybe that was part of the deal. He spoke about Arabs now being able to pray at the Temple Mount, the famous Temple Mount, that has been a bone of contention forever. That means something. They called the deal the Abraham Agreement. Why? Because in 3 religions, Abraham is a figure of absolute wisdom and goodness. Abraham, in the Jewish religion and the Muslim religion and the Christians, this is a figure of the highest repute and sacredness. So when are we going to be able to get past our bias? Donald Trump, anyone who can stand up against this evil, anyone who even suggests that you can take down this cabal, the Satanists, saving the children, changing the world politic, getting out of these bogus agreements that only serve the globalists, trying to stop the New World Order. For God's sakes, people, for God's sakes, when are you going to raise your head up and recognize that you're so poisoned by media or whatever else? Maybe you're picking it up in the air. I don't know. But I'm looking for people with some objectivity here. And you can come back at me and say, well, you're not objective because you're pro-Trump. And actually, I am watching his actions. I am reading those decrees. Nobody seems to be reading them. Very few people are taking the time to read what he's signing, okay? So if you really want to understand what's going on, start reading what he's signing. Like I posted something about the latest executive order, which is now not the latest, where Trump signed into being that they were going to drastically reduce the price of insulin. And they're going to start making, they're pulling Big Pharma out of China. Great idea. And he wants more, obviously there's going to be more government control over what's really being produced in those laboratories and the absurd prices that they're charging. So this edict is going to lower the price of insulin, which is so expensive now that people are dying from their diabetes because they cannot afford to pay for enough insulin to save themselves. And meanwhile, Trump has now signed into order that the price of insulin will be pennies on the dollar compared to what it was. Is anybody paying attention? Is anybody grateful for that? To all you diabetics out there who are anti-Trump, has anybody ever done that for you? And now, this rant is because we can't seem to even take a minute, not a moment, to celebrate what just came down yesterday. So when I hear people talking about we need peace, we need an end of war, we need this, we need that, and in the next breath criticizing Trump because it's never good enough, it's not good enough, this agreement is not good enough, it's bogus. Somebody wrote on a thread, well, the United Arab Emirates. They're all Jews anyway, so it's no big deal. This is old news. It's like, you guys, why don't you go out and broker a partnership or a peace deal between two neighbors that hate each other because one wants to wear the mask and one doesn't? See how that feels before you go out condemning efforts of this magnitude, reuniting the Arab world with Israel. God, are you kidding? And he's talking about Palestine. Could we possibly see an end to this destruction and devastation? But the most important thing is that Trump said, maybe not the most important thing, but something I certainly thought was magnificent. I think we can get out of the Middle East now. We don't really need to be there anymore. Hello? Hello? The end of U.S. presence in the Middle East? And one more time, people claimed that he was absolutely incompetent and he would come into the presidency and there'd be war and destruction, possibly the end of the world, as soon as Trump took his seat. Well, almost 4 years later, he has not started any wars. He's pulled troops out of Afghanistan, and now he wants to pull out of the Middle East. So you know what? Yay, Trump. I openly declare it. Yay, Trump. I am behind you. Thank you, God, that we have someone in this seat who is anti the cabal, who is anti, and man, do they want his ass. Do you also think about that? If everybody hates this man, all the George Soroses of the world, the bankers, the politicians, the left-wing politicians, and all the people in the world who haven't got a clue about politics, or they just hate him because he's called the Orange Man, or because he said, stupid shit. I'd love to know who doesn't say stupid shit. But yeah. Maybe he was just trying to disarm his enemies. Maybe he's crude and rough. But damn it, does this man get policy done? Take a look at what he has accomplished. Open your mind and your bias and take a look. Take the time to look at what he has done in these years that he's been in that desk. And God help us if he's not there for another 4 years. Because if this other side, this incompetent communist side, takes over America, we are so done, folks. Not just America, but the entire planet. I leave you with that thought today. And, sorry about my appearance. I just couldn't wait. This had to come out. It was bubbling up in my throat like Alka-Seltzer. If you hate me because of my position here, thank you for listening before this. Thank you for listening to this. And I wish you all the best. This is Patricia Cori, gritting her teeth, signing out. And boy, do I look funky. It's about time to dry my hair and put some makeup on. On the lighter side of the question, this is Patricia Cori signing out.